Welcome to episode 18 of the Danso Pitch. I am your host, Charles Danso, joined by a few of my co-hosts. Gentlemen, please introduce yourselves.
What's up, everybody? It's Ramy back at it again, ready to record with my guys over here.
What's up, everybody? It's Daniel. Well, glad to be back on the show. Excited for a new episode with you guys.
Yeah, I know everybody. We're still in quarantine, so everybody, please stay safe. We're not out the woods yet. I want to give a shout out to our Apple Podcasts as well as Spotify listeners, as well as YouTube viewership. We have a special episode today for everybody that's tuned in. We have a couple entrepreneur, or how do they say, Daniel?
Corporenership.
Corporenership. What? Is that even
something like that?
Corporenership. Okay, fair enough. So, without further ado, let me introduce our guests for today. Lisa and Stephan. I'm pronouncing Stephan correct? That's the pronunciation?
Stephan.
Stephan, my apologies.
That's all right.
Come on, Dan. You gotta let me know beforehand.
I thought you saw the A at the end, man. My fault.
So Stephan, Lisa and Stephan, got it. So what I first want to do is first introduce you guys. I'm gonna let you guys introduce yourselves to the audience, talk about your business a little bit, and then we'll get into the questions. So please, the floor is yours.
Hey guys, it's your girl Lisa K.
And I'm Stephan White.
And together we are the CEO of LS Cobel. LS Cobel is basically a skincare line for face and body for those who are facing acne, hyperpigmentation, all types of, face and body problems that we all go through. It originally was started because we both, as you know, as everyone else, we go through problems with our acne, with scars, with hair bumps. And originally I started doing scrubs for myself and Stephan, just, to keep our skin glowing throughout the summer, winter, and fall. And then one day, pretty much to say, hey, babe, why don't you just start selling this stuff? And that's how it pretty much started, just him motivating me to do what I love to do, and him as always being the businessman that he is and being very motivational.
So you make the products yourself?
Yes, handmade products from home, by myself. Well,
nice.
Both of us. Mm-hmm.
And when you say Stephan is the business background, or what's the business side like for you?
Well, mostly financial, but we do come together and we do just process everything together. Mostly the business side.
So
Okay.
he's pretty much good with money and better than I am. So he pretty much handles like the financial stuff, things that we're supposed to buy, things we're not supposed to buy, setting budgets for the week or for the month. He handles all of that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like you guys have like a system where, you said Stephan handles like the money, and you
The creative
on the creative side of the business. So is that like, am I accurate in saying that? Is that how you two manage the business?
Pretty much,
Yeah.
because I take a lot of joy in doing what I do. And like I said before, I originally started by just doing little small scrubs for the both of us and us just trying out different skincare routine. And I'm very much into natural products, natural remedies, anything natural, especially with us being quarantined at home. It has given me a lot of time to figure out what is actually really good for the both of us instead of rushing into it.
Do you guys feel, well, I should say guy and girl, excuse me. Do you both feel that more couples are getting more involved in business together?
Honestly, I do think they are, during the time we're in right now. I feel like they're coming together and start to focus more on where they're going to see themselves in the future. Because right now, everything is in shambles.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy out here.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
we both came together and was like, babe, we need, find a way to put more income, have some more sustainable income coming in, revenue, whatnot. And we just decided to take on this journey,
So Was this an idea that you both had before we got into this, COVID climate, or due to COVID, this was just something that, you both had the idea because of financial, limitations or what have you, and then you just said, let's give it a shot.
We had it before.
Yeah, we already have an idea of how doing your own business works, being that both of our parents, they have their own business or had their own business, and we pretty much, he owns his father's company and I have my separate business apart from LS Cobell. So we were already into the business industry in a way. So us coming together as one during this coronavirus was actually a coincidence. It's kind of like, oh, well, since we're home now we could actually really get into something that we both also enjoy together.
So you both come from backgrounds like your parents had their own businesses and you grew up around that, and I think you both mentioned that you either manage or work within those businesses as well. So would you say how did that, being exposed to like your parents having being entrepreneurs or opening their own business from young, did that affect your decision to want to open your own?
Yes. From when I was young, I used to always help my mother in her business. She owned a 99-cent store in Florida, and it was pretty a big deal. So she would get everyone involved always, whether it was prepping to open up the store or prepping to close, counting the register, maintaining who comes in and out of the store. So I was always pretty much hands-on with my mother since young. And till this day, she still has like her own side hustle, and I'm very inspired by such, because she does it on her own and is no help at all. She's very persistent with everything that she does. So it's like, wow, I really want to be like that. I want to have my own thing. And before my father passed, he also had his own business back in Bahamas. So it kind of like runs in the family for me. Everybody is really doing their own thing, having their own business, always being hands-on, and seeing that from my point of view, it's like, wow, I want to do something like that. I want to see how far I can get myself the way my family has.
So yeah, so I wanna piggyback off of what you're saying. So I know that obviously both of you guys have parents or people that kind of had businesses that you guys have kind of had the ability to kind of shadow, see the good and bad of it. But I would say for the individuals that are coming into it that may not have that, what advice could you give them for somebody that may just be starting out, really has no idea of anything, how to operate, how two individuals could come together to build a business. Especially now, I think a lot of times people are so focused on just trying to do it by themselves without having like the assistance that's properly needed. So I think for those individuals, what advice could you both of you guys give them?
First, do your research.
Right. Research is key right now, because if you don't know anything, you can always read up on something. Managing anything.
Yeah, there's a lot of people out there that's giving out advice on those who are just starting, who don't know where to start, how to start. Do your research first before you just jump into it, because it's a good amount of work. It's a good amount of dedication and investment that you have to put in. Do your research and make sure what you're doing is something that you would love to do, so that when you are doing it, it's just fluent. Like, it's just something that you just love to do. It's gonna be,
It works better that way. If you're passionate about it, you don't think about the money so more. It's just more of like, I want to help people. I want to see where this goes.
And knowing how you can inspire other people by doing so, just by starting from nowhere or starting from nothing at all. You just inspire other people to do so.
So, oh, Daniel, you could go ahead.
No, you're good, Ramy. I was just going to say that they brought up a very important topic of, harmony and having aligned goals, because I think that being, even in just regular business partnerships, both of the people who are in a joint venture have to have the similar mindset of like, okay, this is the goal that we're trying to do. This, there has to be harmony in that, and it sounds like you both have that same goal, that same vision for your joint business, which is very important.
Yeah, I wanted to ask, um, you are co-owners of this business, correct?
Yes.
Right.
So did that help for me personally? I can see that where there could be some issues in having a co-owned business, and I can also see the benefits of having a co-owned business. So how did that decision process go? Did you feel more comfortable having your partner involved when you guys decided to join your business, or did you have to tackle any challenges along that way, especially in the early process?
Well, we saw it as um, if there's anyone I'd rather go into business with, it would be my partner because we have so many similarities. We think the same way, even though sometimes we have our own differences and things. We still come together and know what we want to do, like tackle any obstacle that comes in our way. So I found it much more easier to work with someone I know for for years now. We've been dating for
Yeah.
years, so
Someone that you know and someone that you trust and confide in, and you have some respect for their judgment and their ideas. So it wasn't as hard as some people may think it is, knowing that
Mm.
you, yeah, so it's not that hard. It's pretty
So
much having respect. Yeah.
So you don't there do you just perfectly merge the line of like business partners and then, intimate partners, or do you try to like check one in and check one out, like, all right, now is the time for business, and then later we can, go back into relationship mode, or does it just blend, seamlessly into each other? Cuz I'm really curious how that, do you shuffle between business mode and personal mode?
I think it's a blend, it's a mixture.
Yeah, it's kind of a mixture. It's a mixture because like we said before, we both come from a family background of business, and being that we also live together, so it's kind of like, how do I explain it? Chime in if I'm wrong.
You're around each other all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we're around each other all the time, and it's kind of like, okay, well, we could be, having dinner and at the same time talking about, what we see in the future for our business, or he could be helping me taking out my braids, and he'd be like, well, I think this would actually, be a good sin on
Mm.
women, so it kind of blends in. Like, we're around each other so much that it just blends in.
Okay, so I'm gonna play devil's advocate. When are the times that you guys can't stand each other and you don't want to talk about business? How does that conversation go?
Oh, oh my God.
I think we recently started this little thing where we have some time to ourselves,
Yeah.
um 20 minutes apart.
Okay,
A
Yeah.
day?
that makes sense.
Yes, I think it is important to have some type of, some space, some free time for yourself, because at the end of the day, you are still an individual. Even though you are doing something with someone, you still need that time for yourself to do you, to take a breather, to take a step back and think about, the day or yourself. Everyone needs that time to themselves. So when there are times where we're bumping heads, we take our time apart, we think about, what we're bumping heads about or what's going on, and we just come back and regroup. And our main thing, the reason why it's easy for us to do so, it's because we share the same goal, because at the end of the day, the goal has to still be accomplished. Whether I'm mad or he's mad, it still has to get done. So that 20 minutes, 30 minutes apart really does come to play where.
Okay.
And what would you say, like, you say you take these breaks and regroup and come back to the business with a clear mindset. What would you say is like your management strategy, like between both of you, in terms of like what needs to get done, and like that private time that you take? Perhaps you're thinking about the business, perhaps you're thinking about other things, but when you come back together and it's time to talk business, what would be your, like, is it like a joint management, or do you both have like different views of how the business should be managed?
I believe we do have like different views, but at the same time we talk through it, communicate. We just
And planning.
yeah, we sit down and just like go through it together. Like I might say, well, this scrub might be like more sensitive to some people, or some people might be allergic to certain things. So we have to like keep in that mindset of like
The whole world is using this, and we have to make sure we're not just focusing on what we like
Right.
or what a few selected like. We have to go through. So definitely planning. We do a lot of planning. Well, we're starting to. Before we kind of was like all over the place, but now planning is one of our main things.
How do you think? I guess this is. I'll give you guys separate answers for this. But how do you feel that actually being in a relationship is a benefit to your business? Let me give a breakdown what I mean by that. I've learned through the time I've been in business for about I'll say about how long now, Daniel? Like 5-6 years.
Yeah,
I
we'll say that.
actually yeah I actually work in an investment bank. So, and just seeing that, I've noticed that people that usually more in relationships and or married seem to be viewed in a light of like admiration more so. Especially like I've noticed like men that tend to be married, they see like, oh, like that guy's doing well. That's what I usually hear in these meetings. They're like, oh, so how the kids, this and that. My point to say is like, what do you think that you guys actually being in a relationship? How do you think people may view that? Maybe like more so the people you're trying to appeal to in that scenario.
You want to start it off?
You start it off.
You go ahead.
That business decision right there. Who's gonna go?
I'm a gentleman, so I'll say ladies first.
I truthfully, honestly think, in my opinion, that some people view it as, questionable. They question everything. Like, how can they do this? They're still so young. How can they do that? We come off as, how may I say it? How can I say that?
Come on, listen.
Pretend like he's not even there.
Exactly.
He's supposed to have my back. What happened?
No, you said come back with what? I'm trying to realize.
I just feel like people question younger couples when they're in business relationships. Only because it's like they're so young, they're not even married yet. How do they know this is going to be a successful thing? How do they know they can go long term? Things like that. That's what I feel like people view, young couples with business together. That's what I think.
Okay.
Yeah, like the same way if you were like saying to your parents like, oh, I want to move in with this person, and you're like young, and they'd like caution you against it, like the uncertainty of that. So are you saying like similar to that? That's what you heard, like don't go into business with your partner type thing?
Yeah, it's kind of like, oh, don't do it because you don't know if you're gonna get married to this person.
You don't know how long it's gonna last.
Yeah. So
What if you guys break up? Where's the business gonna go to?
So you hear that a lot?
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah, definitely. Only because we're so young, and it's like, well, what's gonna happen in the long term? And it's certain things like that where you have to again come into planning. What's gonna happen if X, Y, and Z starts to happen, or you always have to have a plan. And I believe that people who are getting into this, plan it out for the long term, for the future.
So. Oh wait, no, we were gonna hear from Stephan too on this one, right? Or is that the joint answer there?
Nah, go ahead.
No. No, I believe the same thing. This day and age, people don't take the time to sit down and actually learn a new skill or like try to develop new things. Then they're afraid to cross their boundaries. And I feel like you need to take the time to like, as you get older, you need to like really sit down and know what you want to do in life, because time is passing by, and right now it's like the best time to start something that you never thought you could, or something you always wanted to do but you never had the time to. It's the perfect time.
Yeah, time does feel like it's standing still or like moving a little slow in these times. Go, Charles.
For our audience that was listening, that you basically just heard the woman and the man's perspective without them actually saying it. So definitely take notes on that. Yeah.
So I have a question. Is there a way, or do you at all like use the fact that you know how when you're a family-owned business, you say it's a family-owned business to like promote that and market to different people? Do you promote the fact that you're a copreneurship in your sales? Like, do you advertise that this is made by two loving partners, or does that not come into play at all?
No. It's pretty much we don't put any of our
No
we don't put
personal.
that out there. No, we don't put that out there. We kind of just,
But
hey.
it might be a good strategy.
Yeah, like, so would you say you use it in any way in your business or your sales? The fact that you are as working as a tandem, or that in no way it comes up?
I mean, with our friends and family, it comes up sometimes, right?
Yeah, it doesn't come up with our strategy of advertising or promoting at all. It hasn't come into play. As of now, it hasn't. No.
But
Okay.
maybe in the future.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. I'll remember I said that when I see it, when I see the ads coming up.
Are you guys planning on actually building out a team outside of you guys, if not already?
Probably in the future.
Yes.
I would think.
Yes,
Because we
because
plan on expanding.
this is growing really faster than we expected. We literally started putting it out there about 2-3 weeks, and we
Oh
are
wow.
already like overwhelmed with orders and things that we need. And being that with the coronavirus and quarantine and stuff like that, it's harder for us to get the materials that we would need. I personally, I didn't think it was gonna be so quick, but then again, with everyone being home and needing something to do, now everyone has time to take care of their skin, take care of their body. So
That's
yeah,
true.
yeah, so now it's growing really fast to the point where we're gonna need a few extra hands to help.
And they also have more time than ever to sit around and online shop
Exactly.
or
Yeah.
because your sales are all online, I imagine, right? There's no store
Yeah.
that you're selling this in, so it's a good combination, like the perfect storm.
Yes.
Definitely.
Well, you heard that audience. They said now is the perfect time to get a business up and running, growing faster than they even expected it. There's a lot of opportunity to be had in these times.
Yeah, like they took, what's, presenting, and it is a very terrible situation, but there's always some light at the end of the tunnel, right? And Lisa and Stephan have used this time to create an entire business. Literally, in just obviously, it's been more than 3 weeks, but 3 weeks they started it, and they've already achieved a level where they didn't imagine they'd get to in such a short amount of time. So it just shows that, use this time wisely, right? And for Lisa and Stefan, I imagine that going through this, there might have been some challenges. I know you mentioned earlier about what the perception of having a corporenership, however you say it, the perception of that, what people might present challenges. It might be difficult. Don't go into business with your significant other and all these other things. But what would you say has been some of your top challenges with operating a business together, especially in these times?
Well, right now, definitely the products. It's hard to find like a lot of things right now because all the productions are slowing down. The stores not open. Um, Amazon is running pretty slow with the orders we need. But
On the supplies you need.
Yeah, so
yes,
now that kind of like forces us to have to go out and have to go by ourselves, which is something that's like a real challenge for both of us, because times I'll be like, well, you can go get it, and he'd be like, oh no, you can go get it, or we'll have a little talk about that, like, all right, so rock paper scissors, or we could go together, like whatever you want to do, I'm with it. But that has been a challenge of getting our materials that we need to fulfill orders.
I think you guys touched on this, but you guys do budget, correct?
right.
Yes.
Okay, because I think that's
Yes.
important to note, yeah, for a lot of not even just couple entrepreneurs, just entrepreneurs in general. So, how important do you think that is to running a business, operating a business in terms of budgeting?
Extremely important, and that is why Stefan is the one in charge, because I am the type who just order any and everything that I
Got it.
see. But Stefan, he keeps me afloat, and he
Good.
manages the financial business part really well, and I think you should take this one over.
Well, she's used to throwing all her eggs in one basket, so
Oh, okay. Got it.
Diversify.
Yeah.
try to set, we have a goal, right? And we don't want to succeed past those limited expectations. That we need to have a set plan. So I let her know, like, yo, for this month, we spending X, Y, and Z. What do we need right now? Things we need probably like weeks ahead of time. We might add that in, but we make sure we have things laid out before we venture on.
That's really great. I mean, something that I heard that was really useful is that you start with a goal in mind before you start budgeting. You know, you have your goal in mind. What am I striving for? What am I saving for? What do I need money for? And then you see short-term expenses and long-term expenses. But I thought that was just a great point that you say picture the goal in mind and then break down your needs from there.
I have a question as well to add. For you guys, who is your primary reach of clients? Let me. Yeah, I just wanted to know, like, what I mean by is it women of color? Is it
Who's
men?
your niche?
Yeah. Is it? Do you guys know that, or like you just like?
Is it younger people or older
right
people?
now we're seeing it started off as a younger group of people, and I'm now noticing that like a lot of older people are starting to find interest in our products, mostly because we've had some reviews and it talks about how our products have tightened up their skin. So I know a lot of older people have areas where it's a bit saggy and stuff like that and wrinkled. And now I'm seeing that a lot of older people are starting to touch base and reaching out to me, asking me a lot of questions about what the product does, how's it going to help with to tighten up my skin, can I look younger, things like that. So, and originally we weren't trying to target just one specific group. We want everyone to know that whether you're young or old, you can use it. Whether you're black, white, Spanish, you can use it. It's good for all skin type. It's all for good texture, everything. So it was basically just to target everyone. People that are having problems with their skin, that are afraid to, take a picture without adding a filter. It's mostly to encourage you to rock your natural skin. So it was for everyone, but now I'm starting to see, some changes.
Nice. I wanted to ask, you both work, like day jobs or you're like primary jobs, right? And you're working on this on the side, right?
Yes.
Right.
So, the expression like you work the 9 to 5 to afford the 6 to 10 or however that expression goes. Can you talk on what it's been like? Like, did you think it's an essential thing to still have, a source of income while you're starting your business, and challenges in maintaining two jobs basically at once, two priorities?
Yes, it is challenging, but you have to have a foundation to build your future. So right now, this is what we're doing.
That was fire.
We quit our 9 to 5, but
not yet.
Not yet, because we see where this is heading, and it's opening a lot of doors for us.
And there are times where it's like, okay, I'm done. I'm not going to work at 9. I don't want to do it. I don't want to get up. But you have to understand, you have to find the motivation. You have to understand that scared money don't make any money. You have to find that source of income to put in more income. So it's not as easy as it sounds. Okay, it's just 9 to 5, and because you have to have the energy, the time to do this. You have to find time to fulfill orders. You have to find time to respond to clients. You have time to make the product. It's not as easy, but if you are determined, if you really want it,
if it's your passion,
it's just gonna flow like water. It's just like, okay, I got this. It's easy. I know in the future, I'm not gonna always have this 9 to 5. I'm gonna have my own business. I'm gonna answer to myself. You just have to have the right motivation, the right drive, and it will just go. It's easy. You'll know that all right, this 9 to 5 is not going to be here for long. This is just for now.
Temporary.
It's temporary.
Yeah. Just work hard for what you want, and it will just flow.
It'll come to you.
This is
So
my that's my last question I have, and then I'll let you guys take over. So I'm a client coming into I want to try your product. Why would I want to go to you guys as opposed to, I don't know, the person across the way, as so to speak? What about your product differentiates yourself from the competitors?
But right now, our products are all natural. All natural ingredients. You list them. We let our clients know. There's a lot of processed materials out there that can damage your skin. You don't know what it is. You have to look it up in the dictionary to find out what hydrochloric acid and nutribase is. And it's hard, for people. And they don't know over time. It kind of deteriorates your own flesh and skin.
Oh wow!
But with all natural processes, you learn more. You'll see it. It's there.
It's also I would say you should come to us because our products are relatable. Our stories are relatable. People that are putting up the reviews, they can tell you, I've had, these dark spots for weeks and I don't know what to do with it. Whereas you put up a review, you say, yo, I've been using your product for 5 days now and my skin is clearing up. I put up real reviews. I also list I also list the products that I use into everything. And I also make sure that I'm communicating and keeping up with my clients or keeping up with customers. Right. I'm showing that I can too relate to you. It's not just, oh, I just did it for fun. I'm doing this from a personal experience. So I'm putting a lot of love and time into this, not only for myself, but to make other people happy. That's one of the things that I love to do, is to show that I can help. Whatever you need me to do, if it doesn't work for you, tell me something that does work for you. I'm here to listen.
Now that's branding.
There you go.
That was solid. You've convinced me.
Right. About to go get an order myself right now.
Yeah. You guys have any other questions?
No, we talked about some really good things here. We talked about the importance of having cohesiveness within a joint business when you're in a business with your significant other. We talked about self-discipline, and I think the audience will benefit from a little bit of an elaboration on that. Lisa, Stephan, you both work day jobs that are demanding in itself, and then you come home and have to work on the business. I'm sure there's times where you're like, man, I don't feel like doing this shit. I just want to relax. I just want to kick back, put my feet up. What would you say is there an accountability between you two? That is to say, if Stephan comes home and he's tired, he doesn't want to do anything. Lisa, do you say, Stephan, get your butt up off the couch. We got to look at these numbers. We got to project these sales. Talk me through that.
We definitely push each other.
She's reminiscing right now.
It's a real struggle sometimes.
Yes, it can be because there are a lot of times where he wants to get into something and I'm not feeling it, or if I'm ready to go into work and he wants to play, what's the game, Smash or whatever you call it, Super Smash, and it can get frustrating because the energy, when the energy don't match, it's hard to stay focused. It's hard to get what you're trying to get done. So it's kind of like, well, I need you right now. I need you to help me put these away. I need you to help me label, and you're not feeling it right now. So when it comes to certain situations like that, sometimes I just wait. I just wait until he can get it together, or I just go right into it and put in my energy towards what I'm doing, and I remain focused on it.
Sometimes he's not into it. Sometimes, but we both come together. We just push each other. Like, hey, are you ready to start this? Yeah, I'm ready. We always got communicate.
It don't sound that flowy. Like, there's a little bit of argument here and there, but definitely try to push him to want to get up, to want to do it. Be like, yo, what is your goal? What is it that you want so bad? I want a new BMW. I want a brand new house. Okay, are you gonna get a house by sitting on the couch playing Smash? You know, you gotta get up. You gotta
Motivating
do something.
factor.
And
Yeah.
even though that kind of like, all right, you're doing too much. He eventually gets into it and like, okay, all right, so what are we doing today? And that thought process of knowing that you have a goal in mind, and getting up off the couch and being like, okay, let me set my goal then. Let me get there.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Perfect.
I love that. I love that.
Is there I just wanted to ask, is there any questions that you guys may have for us?
Do you have any questions? Steph?
How long you guys been doing this? Because I've heard a lot of good things about you guys. A lot of information. I definitely have you guys on Instagram, and I've been reading, and it's like the knowledge is there, and it's great. It's great stuff. Great material.
Thank you.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean the podcast itself has been what now, like almost 2 years.
2 years now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost, yeah.
Yeah, almost 2 years. The business itself has probably been about 4 years now. So yeah, I mean, so you want to look at it like collectively like that. It's a process, much like you guys know. It has its days, but definitely, like you guys said, having the right partners or partner, so to speak, definitely makes it a little bit easier. Because,
Yeah.
like you said, the accountability factor is always important, and so you're not always going to be able to do everything by yourself. I don't think anybody that says that I think they're lying to themselves because,
Yeah.
as you pick up, as it grows, the challenges are just too much for one person to say they're going to handle themselves. So, yeah.
How did you guys come together? Like, how did everyone, play a part in all of this?
Yes.
Who started it?
In short, it was me. I was the one that started the business. I actually knew Daniel from he didn't go to Albany, but we knew mutual friends, so we kind of connected that way. But just kind of interacting with him, starting to I saw that like he was interested, but what really pushed me to kind of say like, okay, I can work with this guy was seeing the drive himself. Because one thing that he probably didn't realize was I was watching him and I studied how he moved. So because I think that was important. To have somebody, these guys will tell you, I'm somebody that I work hard. I know I work hard. I rarely sleep. So most of the time I use that time to, just build out like my business and work on things that I need to. So I think you need to have that. Not somebody that may be just insane, I wouldn't say that, but somebody that's, that has that drive as well, that sees that vision. And he saw that vision. So that was kind of made me respect it and say, okay, yeah, like, if he was interested, if he'd like to. And yeah, so, we've been together, Daniel, almost 4 years now.
Yeah, man, 4 years in business.
Yeah,
Wow.
so
It's been a good ride. It's been a great ride. And then Ramy, Ramy was very much interested in what the things that we were doing and pushing out. And I think Ramy is from 2017. I think so. It's been probably 3 years with Ramy.
I joined up with Daniel. We went to college together, and I saw what he was working with, and I said the goals that you guys have in mind are like the same things I'm trying to accomplish. Putting myself out there in a marketing stance, and also teaching people how to be better with their finances and build wealthy habits from now. So those were passions of mine, like how the same way you guys followed your passion, I sought Daniel out and met with Charles, and it was a good match from there.
Yeah.
Wow, interesting story.
But this has been such an amazing episode.
Yes.
As we start to wrap up, Lisa, Stephan, do you have any closing thoughts for our audience? Anyone, couples who may be interested in going into business together, or just business owners in general? What closing thoughts can you give them?
I would say have an idea of where you want to go and what you set for yourself. You can't just jump in to something without having a plan, having an idea.
Mm-hmm.
And when you have that idea, go for it. Don't let anything stop you. Don't let people say, hey, don't do this because it's not going to work out for you. You don't know. You never know what could happen.
I would like to say, Remember your goal, stay focused, and remember why you started in the first place. Do not let anyone tell you otherwise. Remember why you started in the first place, and it'll play a long one.
And I want to thank you guys for having us.
Yes, thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Oh,
Where, hey, don't forget, where can we find you? Please let us in the
yeah.
audience
Let the
know.
audience know where we can follow you or see the
You
business.
guys can follow us on Instagram at ls.kobel, and the website is lskobel.com, lskobel.com.
Yeah, we'll definitely drop in the video and audio description once that drops. We'll definitely let you guys know, and we'll have you guys tagged so you guys will definitely know. Audience that's listening, as well as Lisa and Stephan, thank you everybody for tuning in.
Appreciate
Like
you.
I said, yes, continue to stay safe. Have fun Memorial Day weekend. Turn the fuck up if you can if you're home. Enjoy it. Why not? All right. Thank you guys so much. I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
appreciate you guys
Thank
coming
you.
out.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.